Hi. Sorry, I was just putting the light on there. Right. Hi, this is Tanya. Oh, there's people in straight away. Right, so I'm here to do the weekly energies. I missed them last week. I'll just wait for some people to come in and then I will start with the cards. I've already pulled the cards and what an amazing feeling with them that is coming through. So if everybody can hear me, okay? Can everybody hear me? I just wait for people to come in. There's people there. Could you let me know? Can you hear me okay? It's always nerve-wracking doing these lives, starting them up. Is there people on? I just need to know that I can be heard here. Hi, Yvette. Yvette, can you hear me okay? It's great to see you. And yes, you can hear me. Thanks for that, Sally. Thanks. It's like I say, you never know. And I know there was a problem with my mic the other day. So it's there. Hi, Miranda. Yeah, there's a problem. I don't know. People aren't getting notifications now for these. So I'll just give it a couple of minutes. How's everybody doing? Are you all right? How are the energies treating you? Because these cards are really, really good. Hey, Goddess Man in Tarot. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Did you get a notification, Chris, for this? Yeah? I got it. Yay, good. You helped me so much. Oh, thank you, Yvette. Thank you for that. Yeah, I put a post on my Instagram. If you're not on my Instagram, then please follow me on that. It's Tanya Love Buddha Tarot, I think. Um, just at the weekend, and I needed to know. I needed to know if my work helps and how it had helped, because I need to write something about myself. And it's really hard because it was like, so how does your work help people? And I was like, well, I don't really know. So, yes, so it was quite interesting. But the messages I got back were literally, I cried and cried and cried because it was just so humbling and so beautiful to know that my work, and the work through spirit actually does touch lives and help, because that's why I'm here. This is why I do what I do. So it's nice to know that I'm kind of fulfilling my purpose in a way. So right. So you got me confused. If I'm fine though. You're a bit confused, Miranda, yeah? Just about to go out. Hey, Magic. Quite positive and upbeat at the moment. Yes, that's what I'm feeling. And these cards totally reflect that. So yeah, I'm going to start them in a second. Your work is extremely helpful and came at the perfect time to remind me of my own power and choices and how important my thoughts are. Thank you for that, for your animal's health, because this is it. It's people look for healers or anything like that, but all a healer does is show you where to look, or opens a door for you, because we're always our own healers. The healing comes from us. There are people that can guide us along the way, people that can have our back and walk by our side, but the true healing and the true work comes from ourselves as well. So it's really nice. And like I say, I'm very honored that people actually find have the trust in me, to help them on these journeys. And the last couple of weeks, I've had some amazing messages from clients that I've been working with, over a long time, and their lives are just, it's amazing. One of them, I'm so proud. I've watched the change and the progression in her, and now this opportunity she's been given is life changing. I mean, like big. I can't say anything but big life changing. And I think we both cried together when this came in. So I'm on the brink of something amazing about to happen. I can feel it. Yeah, this is it. This is what this year was all about, Spirit 1974. And yeah, Diane, I'm just starting now, so I always have a little bit of a catch up, a chat, which some people don't like, but this is what I like to do. It's nice to build the energy, and it's good for me as well because I get something back with this. being enlightened can be a lonely world too until you call in your soul group. Exactly. You see, everybody's kind of picking up what these cards mean already, and I love this. But yeah, there's a lot of exciting things happening. There, I will be announcing something in the next couple of weeks, which I'm very honored to be a part of. I'm very excited about it. It's big. It involves me going to another country again, not for a long time, but yeah, I'm going to be working for a week on a boat and sailing. And what I want to do is I really want to document it as well. It's being documented anyway, it's being filmed, but I want to make this a personal thing with yous as well, you know. But I can't say too much about it yet, but there will be an opportunity if people do want to join on it as well. It's some amazing people. I mean, like literally, I can't believe that I've been asked. There's some connections that I have that are very strong connections, and their brains and all of that is just amazing. So yeah, it's going to be, it's not one of these like healing retreats where everybody goes and they're just quiet, you know. These people party, but they party consciously, you know. It's basically, it's got a little bit of everything in. So as soon as I have more information that I can actually send, there was a little bit of a what you call a clue on my Instagram. If you're not on it, go there and you might be able to have a look at something. But as soon as I can, and as soon as I have the proper details, we've just finalized it all over the last couple of days, and I've still got some work to do for it. Then I will let you in on it all, and it's just so exciting, and it's something I'm a little bit scared of. But you know, as I was talking to a friend of mine last night who's connected with it, I said, yeah, but the scared feeling is also exciting. And what Spirit said to me is, scared is actually just an anagram of sacred. So when we feel that fear, you know, it might just be exciting because else is going to happen, and we miscommunicate it to ourselves as fear, if that makes sense. So yeah, scared, switch it round and make it sacred. So I've seen the Boat That Rocked movie. I hope it's not going to be like that. I really, really don't. No, it's not America. Although I am being drawn there for some reason, like energetically drawn. There's a lot coming up for me, and at the moment I'm just trying to be in the now and go organically with whatever comes, you know. But there's a lot of good things coming. The Love Boat, yeah, completely. The Love Boat, that's exactly what it'll be, because you know, the love of these people, these are people that I learn from, you know, every time I connect with them. You know, it's one of the guys that is involved with it. He's an angel, you know. His name is actually Magic. That's what he's called, because he is magic, you know. And it's well, like I say, I'll do a video on it when it's all done. But we are shooting a trailer. We're filming for it next week over on the island. So all expenses, exciting stuff, but I need to get my roots done as well for that. So has anybody got any questions at all? And then I'll go into the readings. I mean, these are just the weekly readings. You know, if anybody does want a personal reading with me, please click on my website. The link is below. I think there's links for my Facebook, for my Instagram, for any other social medias that I have that I can't remember at the moment. And there's also a link if anybody does want to donate for these videos as well, because the super chat thing, there's still a problem with that, and I'm not receiving what people are giving. So if anybody does want to make a donation, if they feel that in the heart, the link is there. You know, there's no pressure to do it, but I know people have asked me how they could do that. So you feel unsettled, like something is coming, but is that unsettled? Is it really fear, or is it just your mind telling you that it's fear? You know, because whenever we start to feel change and we start to embrace change, when we try and resist it, this is, you know, it's coming from fear, because we can't control outcomes. You know, we can put our action in, and when we co-create with the universe, then we will be guided in the right direction. But if anybody look, if anybody has looked at the message that I wrote today on Instagram and Facebook, it was a very, very powerful message, very powerful energies coming with it about alignment. And when we are in full alignment ourselves, then nothing scares us, because we know whatever it is we are about to experience is part of our soul's growth. So when we are like that, when we're connected, straight down, centered, and our roots are rooted in that earth, then it doesn't matter what externals or anything are happening. I mean, if we look at the state of, the UK at the moment, Europe, I haven't looked too much into it, but there's some quite shocking results in this election, and there's going to be big changes, and they're not positive changes. They're changes going in the wrong direction, but there is a reason for it, and this is what we've got to pan out, if that makes sense. So what our main goal is to keep us aligned, okay, and not go too much into the externals, not go too much into our head, and not go too much into fear, because when we do that, we're not in alignment. And as I've said before, fear and love cannot exist in the same place. And if we have an open heart at all times, even though it is hard, my coach said to me, that to live with an open heart is one of the hardest things to do in this life. However, it's the most important. So, this is what we need to do, take it back to love at every single opportunity. This could be if you're arguing with your work colleague, if you're getting pissed off with your partner or anything like that, take it back to love, and when we're coming from love, solutions just appear. When we get in alignment, we don't have to problem solve. We don't, have to look around to how to solve the problem. It actually solves ourselves when we're in alignment. It solves itself when we're in alignment. Okay, so I hope that makes sense to people. Oh, you left a message. Thank you, Magic. I haven't had time to check them yet. Got it. Please excuse my words today. I'm really having problems with my head. I'm not allowed to call it a tumor anymore. One of my friends told me, they said, you're not allowed to call it that. We're going to name it Tommy. So it's Tommy that is in my head, and sometimes Tommy acts up. Yesterday morning, I was really quite ill. I thought I was going to have to go to the hospital with it, which I never go to normal doctors, but I managed to get it sorted. But if I stumble about my words or my words come out slightly wrong, I will correct it, but that is why, it's that's why. And it's very frustrating. This is the thing that gets me, I literally got out of bed yesterday and cried. The pain was immense, but I ended up having a day at the sea and, having to take things to make it better, and it was all right again. So yes, so I'm sorry if my words don't come out in the way that they should. It's hard as well, because when I'm channeling, things come very fast, and I have to try and put them in order. So please bear with me with that as well. It's just another Tanyaism that I have. How to live with an open heart and have boundaries, align being in love with yourself. That is, I think if that was a question, Lucy, I think you've actually answered it yourself. So to live with an open heart, we need to have love for everybody, even the ones that hurt us, even for the people that or the situations that get us stressed and that we don't like. Okay, but we also need to have them boundaries, and we need to be confident in saying no if that doesn't work. There's certain things this week I had to make a decision about something, and I had to say, is there a certain energy going to be involved in it? Because if that energy was involved, I couldn't be there, so there's certain situations I won't put myself in because I know that they're detrimental. It's like some people, are allergic to gluten, so they don't eat gluten, but they know when they eat gluten, then they have the consequences with it. And our energy is exactly the same as that, so it's about when we fine tune our energy and we really get into our feels, we can go into a situation and suddenly realize, hold on, this doesn't feel good for me. It's not that it's right or wrong, because that again is, it's just energy, but it's energy that maybe doesn't vibrate on our frequency as well, without sounding too woo woo and space age there. But that's it, and know that you have the right to say no. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. If it doesn't feel good for you, then don't do it. This is a thing that I've thought a lot about children. When I was a child, it was my mum would go, oh, go and give them a kiss, go and give them a cuddle before you went, and things like that. And it was almost forced. And I don't think with children we should do that. If a child doesn't want to give somebody a hug or doesn't want to give them a kiss, then we shouldn't force them, because that then tells them that they're putting a boundary up, and we are disrespecting that boundary. So, and I think this is how a lot of people my age have trouble with boundaries, because when we were young, it was all about, no, you've got to do that. Now I think it's gone the other way. So there's a lot of the young ones now have, too many boundaries, so they're stopping themselves from experiencing certain things. But it's about bringing the balance in. But if something doesn't feel right to you, then know that you have permission. Give yourself permission to walk away from anything that kills your buzz, that lowers your vibe, and that is part of being in alignment, by openly saying that. You don't have to be nasty, you don't have to be aggressive, but you can be assertive. So to be in alignment, we need to be assertive, and we need to be very, very careful and really look after our energy. I'm so sorry about this. I shouldn't have probably done the videos today, but I didn't want to let you down with them. I had a spiritual healing on the tumor in my womb. Highly recommend. I've had quite a lot of healings on it, and I don't know whether it's grown. It is quite large for what it is. I think it's 2 centimeters at the moment, 2 centimeters diameter, which is large for them. They're normally 0.5 millimeters and things. And I've had quite a lot, of healing on it, and it's a part of me now. I don't feel it's gonna bump me off, although it's certain times when it gets bad, I do feel that. But I've got to go somewhere, and I'm not gonna give into it. I'm not gonna surrender to it, to the pain, and I'm not gonna go into victimhood with it neither. It is something that I live with. People have far worse, but I really need when we're talking about boundaries here. I stopped working as much doing readings. I put I still do it, but I had to stop doing as many as I was doing, because it really, really hurts it, and now what happens is, if I do too much, it just floors me. Like, was it last week? I think I had to spend 2 days in bed because I'd over pushed myself, and I'd done that because people were asking. I felt obliged. So I put my barriers down, my boundaries down, and then I ended up 2 days in bed. So, boundaries are massively important. So I do what I can with it, but it is not going to beat me. It's not. Thank you. Send you love. Thank you. How do I let go of the past and move on? By realizing that everything within that happened as it was meant to. A lot of times we, getting divorced or breaking up or whatever, we have an attachment to how we thought the future was going to pan out. Okay. And I have people coming to me and within readings, and they'll say, what, oh, my marriage failed. We were married 25 years and my marriage has failed. And I'm like, really? You call that failing? To have a marriage for 25 years is a massive, huge success. But it doesn't mean it's forever, because in that 25 years, the people they were when they met, the experiences they have both had, their growth will have been at different rates. So just because something isn't now doesn't mean that it wasn't once. Okay, so it's honor what you did have, because what happens, and the way people usually get divorced and things like that, and why they end up messy and nasty, is because people carry on when it's already over. They try and flog a dead horse, you know, they stay there for years and years and years thinking it will get better, when really, when the first signs of it, you know, and obviously I'm not just saying bail at the first hurdle, but when you kind of know, you know. And it doesn't matter what you do to try and fix that. If something is broken, it is never going to be the same. And people cling on too much to things in my experience, and within my work, I see this quite a lot. So to get over your divorce, see it as it was a chapter in your book. See it like a timeline, you know. And when we read a book, we start to see all these characters in the beginning, and then we don't know what they mean or what the importance is. But the further we get into the book, we do. And by the time we've shut that book, everything makes sense. Them full 480 odd pages make sense, because it all comes together in the end. And if we see this as what our life is like, because it is, you know, that is how we can say, right, okay, I finished that chapter. What is to come? So that is the beauty in that as well. So an ending is always a beginning. Mourn it, mourn what once was, but don't keep looking in that rear view mirror. Okay, that's why when we're driving, we have a little rear view mirror and a huge windscreen, because we need to see where we're going, not where we've been. We occasionally look back just to check there's nothing in our way, and then we move forward. So I hope that makes sense a little bit. Right, what we're seeing here. Take it personally. It's hard what to take personally, dementia. Is that what you're saying, Nancy? I think I've missed something there with Nancy. Yeah, and relationships are all opportunities for growth as well. Every relationship is just an assignment. That's it. It's an assignment we get given that we've got to work through. And in that, we will struggle, we will kick, I don't want to do this, you know, or we will get very attached to it. But at the end of the day, it's an assignment, you know, that is leading us to bigger and better things. It's hard to let go, but it's hard to cling on as well, Nancy. It really is. You know, if you think, right, this is the greatest analogy I've ever heard of this. If you go shopping, I don't know if you're in the UK, we have plastic bags, okay, which is another thing. But if you're carrying all of your shopping in a plastic bag, how many of you have got the cuts in your hand, you know, where it's been really, really hard, you know, to carry them? The second we let go, it releases. Okay. And this is it. When we hold on to something too tight, it is painful and it gives ourselves pain. Letting go actually is a release, and it releases that pain. We might feel it for a bit, but you know, what actually hurts more is hanging on than letting go. Okay. I'm moving to the country, but I'm scared because I'm leaving behind my 20 because she doesn't want to go. Any advice? All I can say to you, Zulema, it's hi Tanya. I'm moving to a country, but I'm scared because I'm leaving behind my 21-year-old daughter because she doesn't want to go. Any advice? What I would say is do it. Okay, I done exactly the same, and I was the same, you know, can I leave her, whatever. She's 22 now, and I've been here 20 months, so she was 20 when I moved over here. Keep in touch with her, you know, make sure that she knows that you're there. I personally made sure the country I was going to is 2.5, 3 hours away from where she was. I did have the chance to go a lot further afield, but that didn't feel right to me. But also tell her at 21, she is an adult, you know, she is an adult. You have hopefully, and I really feel that you have, give her enough grounding to go out on her own as well. And, you know, it doesn't matter how many miles are apart, that mother-daughter love is still there. It won't change. It just gets better now because you appreciate the time. When I see my daughter now, we spend quality time together. When we're on the phone, we really talk and we get excited and realize how much we mean to each other as well, you know. So do it, because I feel if you stayed for your daughter, there would be resentment sets in, okay, from both sides. And, you've asked your daughter to go. She has made the decision, an adult decision not to, but don't let that hold you back. Okay, you will always be her mother, whatever age she is. So I hope that makes sense. I've never regretted it. I miss my daughter like you would not believe, but she's there. She's at the end of the phone, and we FaceTime all the time as well. So, right. Nancy, are you saying that it's your mother with dementia that changes her mind? It's not her that changes her mind, it's the illness, okay? And speaking from somebody who does have a brain illness, which has caused a brain injury myself, it is very, very frustrating for the person. Actually, I mean, yes, it's frustrating for the people around, but try putting yourself in her shoes and seeing how scary and frustrating it is for her not to be able to control her own mind because of this illness. And it's like, adults, I mean, you're talking about it being your mother. If you think when we're children, I don't know if you're a mother yourself, but if you think when we're children, okay, we're trying to learn to walk and we can't do it, and we fall over and we cry, and our mother or our parent picks us up and nurtures us. They encourage us to do it. When we want to learn to ride a bike, they're there with us. They sit with us and teach us how to read. They teach us how to use a knife and fork, even though we put the food down our face, the bowls on our head. I still kind of do that sometimes, but they teach us. So they, as a parent, we are given patience by our parents throughout our growing years. And the sad reality is that as we get older and our parents get older, sometimes that role changes. So what we need to remember is the patience that our parents had with us when we didn't know our own mind, when we kept changing our own mind, when we it was like, oh, mom, yeah, I want this, I want this, I want this. And then you would go and it's like, I don't want that, I want that. See how frustrating that was, and just come from a place of love with it. Okay. I hope that makes sense, Nancy. And I understand it's hard for you. I'm not in any way dismissing that, but I'm just saying, we can make it a struggle, or if we surrender to it and see it from a completely different point of view, sometimes that is when we find the solution. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. What I love about doing these lives now, I've only been doing them the last 4 weeks in this way, is there is always something at the beginning before the cards. Now, I get a lot of messages of people saying, you talk too much, you this, you that. There's plenty of other readers that don't. This is the way I work. I work, I feel, there's pearls of wisdom come out, occasionally in my talking. And, I'm helping. I feel I'm doing my job when I'm doing this, not because it's like, right, okay, this is a 5-minute video and this is what the card said. That isn't how I work. I can't work in that way. I'm not structured in that way, but I believe that the messages that come through are as valuable as what cards say as well. So, right. I want to know where this new relationship is going. Why don't you just sit back and let it unfold organically? When we are in projections, we get anxiety. Okay. When we are anxious, it's usually because we're living in projections, or we're living in the past and saying, oh, I should have done that. I should have done that. All we have today is now. And if there is somebody in your life today that is making you happy, then take that happiness. Tomorrow might be a different kettle of fish, so to speak, but for today, take that happiness and enjoy the feeling rather than worrying if this feeling is going to last or whatever. It's futile. And often when we worry in that way, this is where our thoughts go. And, we are always the creator of our own future. So if we think something's not going to last, then the chances are it won't. If we surrender and say, right, this is, as I said before, this is an assignment. and I'm going to see where this goes and where it unravels, and do that from a state of complete alignment, like I was talking about. Then we have no fear. We know that if we don't see that person again, it was because that assignment was completed, and we will have gained something from that. Even though a lot of times our brain will tell us that we've lost something, we always gain something. I hope that makes sense. Very I just can't do it. Right. Hey, divine guidance. Yeah. I surrendered. Yeah. A long time ago. Well, surrender a little bit more, Nancy, because when we surrender, as I said, when we're in this true alignment, it doesn't matter what's going on externally around us, we still stay centered. Okay. Good morning, Sherry. Don't worry about it. People should mind their own business. Yeah, I mean, it's like click off, but yeah, some people just like to complain. I think the best is that I'm not putting timestamps on. I mean, I sit my last video, it was 2.5 hours or something. I'm not going to sit and go through it again, to do the timestamps. It's like, people do them, and I'm very, very grateful when people do, when they do the timestamps for me on the new moon and full moon ones. But, I haven't got the time to do that. I charge a lot of money an hour, and when I'm doing these lives and everything, that's it. It's not about the money, but it's if they were getting me on an hourly rate, it would be a lot more than that. You inspired me. Oh, thank you. Yeah, do it and let me know how it goes as well, because I've never looked back. Oh, thank you, Connie. I appreciate you appreciating everything that I do. It feels like building a community. It does, Stephen. And again, watch this space, okay? It's like yesterday, I've got, there's so much that I am dying to tell you all, but I can't. I've got to, because I don't like to build expectations, because expectations come from usually a place of entitlement, and then we have disappointments. So when when it is all ready and secure and everything, and I know the foundations are solid, that is when I will share it, So it's like I say, I'm trying to keep my feet on the ground with everything. But yeah, it is a beautiful community in here, and thank you so much, all of you. Good morning. How to continue and have strength when 7 years is all bad, like a curse in all areas of your life. Maybe look at that. I mean, we do have 7-year cycles, but maybe look at, is everything always bad, or has there been bad things that they are the things that you focus on? Because I mean, I my life wasn't easy for a lot of years until a couple of years ago. It started to change. And there was a lot of tough life lessons, if you put them up in a row, it's like, wow. But within that, there were so many amazing, amazing things, amazing realizations about myself, freedom, really building on myself. So, it's never a curse, curses. I believe curses, superstitions, black magic, things like that, when people are talking about them, if we give power to them, they will become powerful. If we don't give power to them and ignore them, then where are they going to get the power from? Okay, so it's almost like, which side do we look on? As I said, there's only energy. We perceive it as negative or positive, and if it's loss, if it's pain or whatever, that is a part of life. It is. Pain is a part of life, but suffering is optional. Okay, so we have to accept pain. If we know that pleasure exists, we also have to recognize that pain exists. If we know that light and happiness exists, we also have to know that unhappiness and darkness exists. And it's which one do we choose? Because at every single time we have a choice, and we can choose love or we can choose fear. Fear is our ego, the same as jealousy, the same as sort of, why is this happening to me? Blah, blah, blah. Our soul says, okay, what is this teaching me? What is in this for me? So we need to differentiate it every single day, every choice we make. am I in love here or am I in fear? Is it my soul talking or is it my ego? Because the ego knows least and the ego knows loudest as well. And our soul just sits back and goes, right, I'm just going to wait until they're going to fall on me. And the soul just sits there whistling away, and eventually you surrender and you quiet your mind and the soul goes, right, okay, can we speak now? It's like, yeah, okay, we can. I constantly apologize to that inner voice. It's like, right, okay, sorry, I went off on one. So I hope that makes sense. Awesome. Love your way of reading. Thank you. You learn so much about yourself when life is hardest. Exactly. I was talking to somebody. I've had an amazing weekend. So random, nothing planned. They say the words in my head. I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize for it. In fact, I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm going to say thank you for your patience with my words when they get muddled. What was I saying? You see, this is another thing. It's complete memory block there. Oh God. It makes it really hard to do these. It's like, yeah, they test me. I'm trying to change myself. Just feel stuck. Need to be a winner. You're a winner anyway. You don't need to be a winner. You are a winner. Okay? You don't need to be. You are. Because you have endured 7 years of pretty shitty stuff and you're still there. So you're winning. So please change the way you speak about yourself. You don't need to be anything. You are. Okay? And if we believe in God or believe in the universe and believe in all of the power that we have, I'm not religious, but whatever you believe, do you think that person, that higher power, that whatever, actually makes like dud goods, so we need to realize that we might not be perfect in the way we think is perfect, but we have been made absolutely imperfectly perfect. Okay, so that's it. So you are a winner, and everybody here is a winner, because everybody here has opened their mind in a way to the universe and to the beauty and everything that is there. So I hope that makes sense. My teenage son is an empath, just like me. He's struggling horribly, and I'm trying to guide him the best I can, but would greatly appreciate any guidance. Right? Okay, this is really, really interesting. This has came up over the weekend for me, and I've been channeling stuff for somebody I know around this. And what I feel within this scattered mystic, and please, whenever I read, I always read from a place of love, but it's just whatever comes through, it's kind of important, and sometimes it isn't what we want to hear. So yes, we are empaths, okay? And, we can say that we're a star sign, or, we're empathic, or in human design, we're manifesting generators or whatever, But we need to see that is, that is a part of who we are. But we don't need to hide behind that label. We don't need to use that label to actually kind of, I'm trying to, how do I say this? Being an empath is tough. It really, really is. But it's also, a massive blessing as well. And we are here, like I say, we are built perfectly. So this is how we are meant to be. And if we kind of say like, all right, okay, I'm really upset today because I'm, an empath, or somebody saying, well, yes, of course, I'm jealous, I'm a Scorpio or whatever. That's kind of, not taking responsibility for what we can actually do about it. So if he is seeing you as an empath and maybe hearing you say words similar, which we do, I'll say it to my daughter, it's like, oh God, I hate being an empath, or oh, there's struggles, and you don't realize that is then instilling fear in them. My daughter is a huge empath, and she struggles a lot of the time. But when I realized that she was in fear of being an empath because she had seen me and heard me talk about the struggles I'd had with it, so straight away she was scared. So what I have to do now when I talk to her is I talk to her about how I have overcome that, how I can now go into social situations, how I can look after myself during the process, so that she realizes it's like all right, okay, this is kind of a thing that I can control rather it controlling us. Does that make sense? I mean, I would definitely, meditation is really good. Swimming or salt baths for them water is always really, really good. If you can get them some black tourmaline or black obsidian as well. Shungite, it's all the blacks, and I never realized it's because this kind of, they're saying to me there, this counteracts when we're empaths, we let in a lot of light. So the stones that we need are black to protect ourselves, and to wear black as well, when black often reflects energy. So I hope that makes sense, Scattered Mystic. Okay. Thank you, Tanya, for your guidance and thoughts. Look forward to listening to you talk about spirituality. Love to hear all I feel. Love and blessings. Thank you. Thank you. I needed to be reminded that they are 7-year cycles. Yeah, they are. All the time. We're always changing, Stephen, always changing. And that's the beauty of it. Spirit said it to me the other day. I was talking about my little dog, and he's not ill, but I'm seeing him getting tired, and I can't even look at him in the eyes sometimes now, because I'm like, Hendrix, come on. But I said to my friend, I said, he's been my only constant. And Spirit turned around to me and said, the only constant is change, Tanya. That's been your constant. So, I'm, like I say, I'm not holding on. I'm going to have to let go when I need to let go. And I'm starting to loosen my grip a little bit now as well with that. So, you're talking about my weekend, was I? All right, yeah. Yeah, I ended up meeting up with a friend who was in need. And we worked through a lot of things, which was great. And then they'd been invited to this exclusive party, and was invite only, and we ended up there. And then it just, everything just unraveled, and it was just a weekend where nothing was planned, but it was so nice and so connected. It was really nice to actually feel connected, when I was out. It's amazing talking about connections, and that actually leads me on to this reading. So there's probably a reason why I forgot it, but I'm going to go into what I'm getting with the cards, and that should explain what it is. But yes, it's been an amazing weekend. So right. Hardest times make better progress. Yeah, I'm not pulling personal cards for people. Oh, thank you for accepting that, Scattered Mystic. So it's really look at how because he will, if he is an empath, he will be mirroring you as well. So it's this is what we've got to be careful of as well. Put a clear quart in Hendrix's drinking water. It'll boost his energy. He's unknown the way he is at the moment. He would probably eat it. You can see when we were talking about dementia before, it's there with him, and sometimes he's just like dawdling around, and we can't help but laugh at him. But my friend said to me the other day, he's so much like you, Tanya. Because we were laughing, as I was saying, this weekend. So we came back here, and I said to my friend, do you want me to make a sandwich or something like that? And I said, is there anything you don't eat? And they said, my flatmate was there. And he said, yeah, I don't eat pork. And I said, okay. So I made him a ham sandwich. My flatmate was like, you've made a ham sandwich there? And he's just said he didn't eat pork. And I went, yeah, but this is ham. And they both turned around and they were like, Tanya, you teach people how to live their lives. So it was apparently I go from guru to goon in 60 seconds. But I really like that. Right, okay, I'm going to get on with these cards because I've 44 minutes and all I've done is just talk. So please remember, it's 44 minutes. I'll have to put that on the thing and tell people the actual readings start at 44 minutes. Right. Okay. So everybody's there, and there's a nice energy in here. So thank you so much for that. I'm just gonna have a drink of water before I start. I think there's been some good information come out there, yeah? Right, okay. Right, so I've used different tarot cards and an oracle card, okay, as well. And the first card that I've pulled here is the Queen of Cups, okay? And I really, really like this card. The Queen of Cups, if we have a look here, she's in the water, she's in the sea as well, okay? And that sea looks quite choppy, but she looks like she's kind of like, she's riding that wave. And this is all we can ever do, okay? If we imagine that we are kind of on a surfboard, and life is the surfboard, and we've got to keep our balance. If we don't, we fall off, okay? So it's all about keeping balance, and this is also keeping balance of our emotions. Now, I'm not meaning, when I'm saying this, I'm not meaning that we don't feel our emotions and we stop them. It means we don't let our emotions overwhelm us, okay? Because this is what can often happen. We feel an emotion, and we then go into almost a negative emotion with fear or excitement, or what's going to happen, and then we allow them to basically come over us like a wave. And this is what we don't need to do. Now, when we get the Queen of Cups here, what I love about the Queen of Cups here is, in general, is the Queen of Cups is ruled by her emotions, okay? She's a very, very emotional being. And there's been a lot of tears in her life. If we have a look, I like to think of them, like, can you see the little, like, pearls here, the little droplets? I like to think of them as tears, okay? But with every tear, if we think, every tear then becomes a pearl of wisdom, okay? And pearls are one of the most precious commodity that they are. And they come from that little bit of grit and sand, don't they? So it's how we process this. So yes, we will have tears. Yes, we will have pain. But we can't live in that pain, okay? We can't live with it. We can't cling on to that pain, because that pain does not define us. It is something we have experienced. It is not us, okay? So the beautiful thing about the Queen of Cups here and about this card is it's saying that do not lose yourself just because you have been dealt a hard ride or something like that. Keep that heart open. The Queen of Cups, her heart is open. Her heart has always also been broken on numerous occasions, but she just goes on living and loving, okay? And a lot of times the Queen of Cups doesn't really give as much care and nurture to herself as what she does to others as well, because she's the nurturer, she's the comforter, she's the compassionate one, she's the one that people go to when they're in a time of need. She is that safe place. She is home. And when I'm saying home, I don't mean four walls. She is that place where you go and you feel that you are understood. You feel that connection. You feel that love as well coming. So that is the Queen of Cups here, and this, I feel within this, she's saying, she's telling us to look at the beauty that is in life. And even in the darkest days, there is always some element of beauty, we also need to look at our feelings as well. And sometimes we need to say, right, are these our feelings, or are we reflecting the feelings of somebody else? If we are in our alignment and we know everything's right and we're focused and we have this vision, and then somebody else brings doubt into it for us, they could say, oh, that's never going to happen, then we can start to mistrust. So then we go into fear, then we get into this chaos place, and then we go like, all right, what's going to happen? I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared. And the universe goes, oh, they want to be scared, they want to be scared, they want to be scared. So that is what we get back. So we need to be so careful of our thoughts, okay? Because our thoughts create our future. They do. We send out that vibration, and it's whatever we're asking for. And sometimes the universe doesn't differentiate between, it's almost like if we're going, God, I don't want to be in debt. I don't want to be in debt. I don't want to be in debt. I'm massively in debt. I don't want to be in debt. The universe just hears debt, debt, debt. Okay, I'll give you debt, And this is how, the second we change that mindset, money flows to me easily and quickly. Things start to happen, and that's what we focus on. The universe is going, all right, money flows to them easily and quickly, right? Okay, we'll do that. It's almost like, oh, I never find love. Thank you so much, Amy. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Oh, I'll never find love. And the universe go, oh, they'll never find love. They don't want to find love. That's great. Then there's these people, they'll say, what? I'm going out. I could date, 10 guys a week if that made, or 10 girls a week if I wanted, because people just are attracted to me and I have them options. But that is a person who is saying, I have options. Things happen to me. So it's how we change things. And this is what happens with the Queen of Cups, because the Queen of Cups, like I say, she doesn't always give herself the love, care and kindness that she needs. She gives it to other people. But within this card, she does. She's not this downtrodden sort of martyr type that, oh, well, I just give love to everybody else and I do all of this. Look internally, magic. I would love to find love. Look in the mirror. That's where you need to find it. Because if you don't find it in what you're seeing in the mirror, you will never find it in real life. Okay? And this is it. This is exactly what I'm saying. I would love to find love. Love is not lost. Okay? You're just not looking in the right place for it. Look internal. Look into your eyes. See that you are love. And then love will come back to you. Okay? So this is what I'm saying with this card. I like this Queen of Cups in this because it's almost like she's got her sass on, she knows what she wants. She's determined, she's assertive, but she still has that open heart. Okay. The tears that she's had within her life, she's turned into pearls and she wears them with pride. She is deep as the ocean. She doesn't paddle in the shallow end because she knows that if she's paddling in the shallow end, then she is never going to dig deep. And when she doesn't dig deep, she will never find that shell that when she breaks it open, there is that pearl of wisdom in it. So if she doesn't dive deep, she will never find that treasure. So this is saying here, rather than so many people say, oh, my emotions, I can't stand these or I can't handle that. Really make friends with them and see that your emotions are coming up to teach you something and guide you to treasure. Okay. And you don't need to look anywhere else for that treasure. That treasure is within you. You are that treasure chest. You are that clam that's like that just needs to be opened. And that is when you will find that pearl of wisdom. And that pearl will contain tears, and it will contain memories, and it will contain fears as well, they're saying. But put them all together into this whole, and when you realize you are whole, that is when they're going, that, my dear. I don't know who uses the term my dear, but I don't. They're going, that, my dear. That is when you will realize that you are perfect as you are and that you are whole, and the only place you need to look to find this treasure is inside of you. Okay, so wow, another deep one. Switch, ride that wave. Let's all turn into like surfer chicks. And dude, how amazing would the world be if we were all like that? I was out yesterday with my two housemates. We went out for lunch and then went to the sea, and we took little Sonny, my new car, and we had the roof off, and I had to put the Beach Boys on, Good Vibrations, and it was so made for that car. And this is it, we need to turn into like surfers. If you look at surfers, they're like, hey dude, they're there, they're just being, aren't they? They're cool and powerful. And if you think as well, they are in perfect alignment. They know how to get themselves so that they can actually ride that wave. So maybe what we've got to do now is learn to surf. That should be a thing, isn't it? I'm going to write it, surfing with spirit. That would be amazing. I really, really like that. I'm going to actually write that down there. But yeah, that would surfing with spirit. But yeah, this is interesting that this card's coming out as well, because this exciting thing that I said, is actually called C. That's it, and it's C. I see, I see the sea. So yes, so this is it. So it's when we are doing this, if we have a look, she is still this seductress. She is not, she is not this downbeaten woman. She is actually growing stronger and stronger in herself. This woman, would you look at her and say that she loves herself? Because I think she does, but not in a negative way at all. She recognizes who she is. She recognizes her qualities, and she actually works on them. She uses her strongest qualities, to make her life better, and the people that come to her for guidance and everything as well. She works on her strengths, and she is in full alignment in this because she has her emotions in control. Okay, we have the dove there as well. She is at peace. She is at peace with who she is. She is at peace with what has happened to her, and she is at peace with what will happen to her as well. She holds no fear, and she holds no fear because she has an open heart. Okay, she knows what love is, and she knows that love is the only answer, and this is how she will get through life, with love as her guide here. So this is about, it's about expansion. It's about emotional growth. It's about adaptability, how we can adapt ourselves to any situation, and how even within that, even the most difficult situations, if we have an open heart, we can get through them easier. And at the end of it, like I say, we've gone up a notch and we've learned. So I hope that makes sense to you with that card. We then get, which I love this one. I mean, these cards today, like I say, they're insane. We then get happiness, okay? And look at that. I mean, can you imagine? Hold on, I'm just going to say, in fact, yes, imagine it, because this is what we are making happen, okay? I was talking about this exciting thing, and I was going to say there, can you imagine them two getting together? This emotional person who is riding the wave there, this guy there sitting with the gongs and singing bowls with a big, big smile on his face going, yay, I'm just happy, happy, happy. Put them both together, and what do you get? You get this thing that I'm actually working on, which I can't let you know in future. Well, no, I'm gonna tell you it now, so you can have a look. The website's up. It's not fully finished, but it is called Sail Away Experience. I'm just checking that is right. If you go onto my Instagram, I have tagged them in a post this morning. I'm just looking. Yeah, Sail Experience Away. Hold on, I need to find the website. sailexperienceaway.com. Okay, so if you go on to that will give a little idea of something that I'm part of, that people can be part of as well if they want to. Okay, and if anybody has any more questions about that, then please get in touch with me, because if it's booked via me, there's discounts as well. So I think I've said too much, but it's we're filming next week, and there's a trailer coming out that I will share with you. But yeah, so anyway, this one, and now this card is the word for this is shared happiness. Okay, do you want me to click that link? I'll put that on there and see if it's, can I type? See if I can type. I'll put that website on there. But like I say, if you want to book it via me, and then there can be a discount or something. And there will be more information coming out in the next couple of weeks. Sail Experience Away.com. There you go. Okay, so there it is. There's a little link I've just posted there if anybody wants to have a look at that. Okay. So this is shared happiness, and this is a guy who is sitting here, and he is happy with his lot. Okay, he hasn't always had it easy, but that has made him appreciate and realize that, he has got to take the beauty and enjoyment out of every day. And at any given time, in any given day, we can look at what we have, and we can have this happiness. When we have this happiness within ourselves, it becomes infectious. So the people that we come into contact with start to learn from us, and then they become happy too. As the Yogi Bhajan says, be so happy that when people look at you, they become happy too. And this is it. Yeah. Happy Memorial Day. Thank you to all who've served. Yeah, I get it. I appreciate them, but I have different views on that. I feel it's war is never the answer. I feel on that. So I get your sentiment, Good Witch Intuitive Tarot, but I'm going to focus on this happiness and this good, if that's okay. So so where was I at? So he has had times when things haven't been easy. So what he does is now when they are, he appreciates it. He knows that they will change because he accepts life as well. But for this moment, he has satisfaction. He has done what he wanted to set out to. If we have a look, he's not sitting there with a big car. He's not sitting there with a big house. He's not sitting there waiting until he gets that golden check or that golden hand shake, or that golden watch from his retirement. He is making the choice to be happy today and to have ultimate satisfaction and contentment with what he has here. He is in joy, okay? And when he is in joy, that is when he is enjoying life. When we are in joy, that is when we are enjoying life. So this is saying that we are blessed. It doesn't matter what is going on for us externally, what we have endured, what we have been through. We need to take the blessing from every single day. People say to me, how can I be happy? And I'm like, be grateful. When we say thank you every day, we realize, when we really mean it, we realize how lucky we actually are. Because, it was a Gandhi that said, I was complaining about having no shoes, and I turned around and seen a man that had no feet, and there will always be people better off than us, and always be people worse, and what we need to do is be happy and thankful for what we have, okay? Because this card is, he is giving back that happiness to the universe, and he is receiving that happiness back. So like I say, the two of these together, it's like, wow, what a team. That is going to be one hell of a party, getting them two together. It's not going to be all crazy glow sticks and strobe neon lights, but can you imagine the vibe around there? That is how it's going to be, them two. So happiness and open-heartedness come together. If you close your heart off because of things that have happened in the past, you are also closing yourself off to present and future happiness as well. Okay? So then the card that I picked here is 3, celebration. And this is like the 3 of cups here. And look at that, then people are dancing in the rain. Now, when it rains, we've had this weekend raining, and it's been pouring down with rain here. But it was so beautiful because rather than us being busy doing what we had to do, we had to take the time to stay in, to talk, to connect with people that matter, to have meaningful conversations, to have meaningful experiences, to have fun experiences, and to not be bothered if our clothes get a little bit wet, because they will dry. And this is it. This is about celebrating life. Again, this is taking the joy in life. If we can't see the joy in life, that is when not enjoy. And life is meant to be. It's meant to be joyful, and a lot of times, we can have a bad experience, and then we focus that much on that bad experience that it robs us of our joy. When we are robbed of joy and we are not in joy, we isolate ourselves. We then feel alone. When we become rigid and we don't have any movement, we don't have any flexibility, within our thoughts or within our heart. And what that does again is ostracize us from other people. And then they go, look at all them people out there having fun, and I'm in here by myself again. And it's like, yeah, because you put yourself in that place, because you weren't in joy. When you are in joy, joy will come to you. Like attracts like. And if you think, like I say, I'm all alone, the universe is saying they want to be left alone. Don't give them a knock. They want to be left alone. But if you say, I am ready to share my happiness, I'm ready to share joy with others. John Lennon said happiness is only real when it was shared. And this is it. So we need to do that. We need to find the happiness in ourselves, and then we need to go out and we need to give it away as well. And in giving it away, that is when we will get it back. I hope that makes sense. We focus too much on the bad stuff because it's easy. It's easy. Our biggest fear, if you read today's card on Instagram, is that we are powerful beyond measure. It's not that we are inadequate. Okay. But when we think, oh, well, that might fail, it's easier to say that than go, well, that might make it. I might win, We're winning if we're striving. It's not about the destination. We've had this thing with this thing at the moment. And what is beautiful about this project is that everybody on it is on the same vibe. They are creating, they are buzzing. Everybody, we have a WhatsApp group, and some of the messages that are being posted in it. And, this is infectious. So everybody is like, right, okay, we are going to do this. What does success mean? It means that it doesn't mean the final outcome. It means, we have managed to pull this off. Everybody has been on the same vibration, and boom, that's when the magic actually happens. So this is what we need to do. We need to be in joy at all times, whatever the situations, and whatever the situation. People will go, oh, I feel very strongly about this because when I lived in England, I lived near to a big motorway, and the amount of times, on a daily basis, people would go, oh, there's an accident on the motorway, there's police cars here, there's ambulances, I'm going to be late for work. What a day, what a great start to the day. And I'm like, whoa, hold on a second. There could be somebody getting a knock at their door, and they're going to have a much worse day than you, because I was that person. People complaining on Facebook about, oh God, there's the traffic's all backed up on this motorway because my mother had been hit by a truck, so I got that knock at the door. So now when I see that, I know that, there's another side to that. So now if I'm ever in a traffic jam, which in Ibiza does not happen, I did have to slow down the other day because there was a chicken in the middle of the road and I couldn't get past. But that's about as much as I get now. But now if I'm in traffic and it's, I sit back and I go, right, turn the music up, have a cigarette, Tanya, take this time to relax, because you getting stressed or anything like that about it is not going to get you there quicker. So whatever is happening, people, oh, I've got a 12-hour layover in the airport. Cool. Read a book, go and speak to somebody, treat yourself to some clothes, go shopping, take this time that you always say that you want to yourself. I never get time to myself, but then you complain about having a couple of hours stuck in an airport, So this is what I'm saying. Always look at, right, okay, what is the beauty in this situation? And that will help you to be in joy a lot more. Okay. And then the final one here. So this is all the energies for this week. Okay. So this week is it's almost like a test. I feel the conditions are perfect for us to get onto that surfboard and sail through life a little bit, like I say, so you can surf through it, you can sail through it, you can whatever. But this is how you navigate from it. And then the final card, the Colette Baron Reid one, is peace. And this says freedom from attachment, radical acceptance. Now, when it says freedom from attachment, I love the term, I love the quote, I say it all the time. I'm attached to nothing and connected to everything. because I realize when we have attachments, as I said before, when we were talking about divorce, when we cling on, it's hard. If we understand that something has completed its cycle, then we let it go. And when we let it go, we allow more to come in. When we have this radical acceptance within the universe, within life, and we know that everything is happening exactly how it is meant to happen in any given moment, we cannot be in a state of anxiousness, because we have this knowing. We are connected, we are aligned not just with ourselves, we are connected to the divine, we are connected to Mother Earth, and we know that there is a plan bigger than what our eyes can see. And I love the term man plans and God laughs, because this is exactly how it is. And we push and we push and we push for outcomes, and it disturbs our inner peace. And these outcomes don't happen, and we feel that we have lost something. And Spirit are going, just stop knocking on that door, please. This one, we're holding this one open for you. So when we get resistance or anything like that, know that it's just a detour, to take us onto the right path. And when we trust this, and when we trust this with all our being, and when we trust ourselves and trust the experiences that we've had, trust the experiences we will have, and know that they're all here for us. They're not going to happen to us. They are here for us. And when we can see that there is a blessing in every shitty cloud, that is when we can be at peace. Okay, and this is what everybody says, I just want some peace. And it's saying, so choose peace. Don't choose chaos. Because when we're in confusion, when we're in our ego, it's usually chaotic. It's usually disruptive as well. So this is saying, when we have this quiet mind, the knowledge that can be given to us is immense. It doesn't get any better. When our heart feels fulfilled, when it's nourished daily with what we're doing for ourselves, we will attract others that nourish our heart daily as well. And the way to peace is through this acceptance and knowing that everything up until this moment, the whole of your life, has happened exactly how it was meant to, and what will happen in the future is exactly how it's meant to be. Yes, we have choice. We always have choice, but the biggest choice that we have every single day is to choose love. Okay. And I don't know if all of you've seen it. I wear a bracelet to remind myself among all the other ones. And it said, only love today. And that's it. When I feel myself going into it, and I do, I get into it. And then it's like, no, only love today, Tanya. And I realize when I get into disarray, when I get into chaos, when I get into not feeling good, I have come out of my alignment. And I am not being true to myself. I am not being authentic. I'm either worrying what people will say. I'm worrying that might not work. I'm thinking about the past or whatever, and I'm completely out of alignment. So I bring myself back in. And the way I bring myself back in is say, right, I am love. This is it. Back into my heart. When I come into my heart, if you imagine you have this white line connecting you, and that's it. You are in complete alignment. The best thing I ever seen with this was when Spirit showed me, a spirit level that we actually, when we use to measure things that are straight, it's got the little green bubble, and if we're on a tightrope and we've got that spirit level, if we're leaning to the past, the bubble goes out. And if we're leaning to the future, the bubble goes out. We just need to stay forward. We can't go back. We can't rush forward. We just need to glide. We need to surf that wave. Okay. It's like everybody's going surfing. This is what we have, and we will experience some bigger waves and some littler waves. And then sometimes we'll just kind of tread water a little bit, and then a big wave will come. But that is all part of life. And when we sail through life, that is when we do it, and it's a breeze. You look at that, some people say, look at them, they just sail through life, don't they? And these are the people that they care, but they don't really care. They care deeply, but they don't care about the superficial stuff. the shallow stuff, because they don't even paddle in that shallow end. They're diving deep all of the time, and they know that because they're diving deep, they know they dive deep within themselves. They dive deep within everything. And that is where they found their knowledge, that they know there is something much bigger than us that is actually guiding the way, So they have ultimate trust and ultimate acceptance. And that is when they are at peace. Okay? And peace is what we all need. So I hope that makes sense to you. I love that one. I think, can I pull one? I'm going to pull one of the Gabrielle Bernstein cards. Where are they? Right. And they're aptly named, The Universe Has Your Back. Oh, great analogy. Sorry, there was a lot coming through. I'll have to watch this back because I don't know what it was said, but I know it felt really, really good when I was saying it. Yeah, to find your soulmate, mate with your own soul first. Nice one for your animal self. Can you hear the piano playing there? And my housemate must have came in and he's playing the piano in his room. I love it. I just sitting here and it's like, wow. Your board is ready. Yeah. I wish I had, when people do it and they just, like a DJ, and they just click and it would be that everybody's going surfing. Yeah. Right, okay, so a message for today, please, to end this reading. This beautiful reading, actually. This beautiful reading. There's a one that was turned out. I'll read that one as well, but that wasn't the one that fell out. It was just in the wrong way in the deck. God, there's too many of them coming out. Sorry, I only need one. Please have a little patience. Thank you. Come on, come on, come on. It's weird weather here in the UK today. Sun, rain all day. Exactly. So enjoy the both of them. This is it. It's like a pick and mix. You get to choose. You're not stuck with one. Why are these not? There's no one coming out of this. So sorry about this. There will be. I need to be more in the now. Yeah, we all do. There's an amazing book by Eckhart Tolle called The Power of Now, which is a great, great book. And there's another one called Uncharted by Colette Baron Reid, which is an amazing book as well. Yeah, everything is perfect with me, Linda. Linda, yeah. It's funny, when I put that question on the other day, a lot of people go, oh, yeah, you're going through stuff, Tanya. I'm like, yeah, but we always go through stuff. I am literally, and I think you can see it, I'm happier than I've ever been, And yeah, I have the ups and downs, but like I say, that's the surfing. That's what I do. And I share if I have a wobble with people, but it doesn't mean I'm under, and it doesn't mean anything like that. I wasn't saying you were saying that, Linda. It was just some of the messages that I get. Right, okay, I'm just going to pull one here because I think they just want me to stay here. Right. Look at that. When I'm connected to my joyful presence, I attract support from the universe. Exactly what I've just been saying, Yeah, they're funny. They're funny. They're funny. So I hope that makes sense with you. If anybody wants a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. The link is below. I am starting as from tomorrow. I'm starting a week's holiday. I have a family member coming over to stay with me, and it's going to be the first time we've been properly just the two of us together for 15 years. We've been no, not 15 years, since we were 15. So yeah, we're going back to being 15-year-olds again, me and my cousin, and it is so exciting. I can't wait for it. So I am taking a full week off. If I have a chance to do some cards, I will do them. If you're on my Instagram, I'm probably going to be doing some cool things, so I will post videos of them as well. But it's like I say, I'm really taking this time to enjoy it, you know, because it's going to be precious. It's going to be really, really precious. So yeah, so please, hope these messages have made sense to you. I hope they have helped in some way, and please take this, that honor how you feel, even if this is a little bit shitty. Don't try and mask it or anything. Honor it and say, okay, what is this trying to tell me? And when we make friends with our fears and friends with our emotions, it just means that we have more friends and we have more chance of kind of understanding them, you know. It's like, you know, when people see like goths and that stand, I was a bit of a goth when I was young, on the corner, oh, look at them, you know, but then you come and speak to them and they're not different, okay? But this is it. If you don't introduce yourself and allow them to introduce themselves to you, you will always remain strangers. And what you need to do with your fears and your emotions is make friends with them, okay? Because we can never have too little friends, you know. So I hope that makes sense. I feel all really nice and calm, and I feel all full of love. I feel quite floaty today, actually. I hope that's made sense to you. I love it. I really love this. And thank you as well for everybody staying and listening to me waffle on. But, you know, this is the way I like to work. And I feel when we're not forcing it, this is when the real treasure comes out, the real pearls of wisdom as well. Okay. So I'm sending you all lots and lots of love. Let me know underneath if you've enjoyed this reading. If there's anything that any of you would like to see in these readings as well, then let me know, you know, because I'm very open. This is a two-way thing with us. Okay, I get the energy back. I feel good when I'm doing these readings, and hopefully you get that back as well. You know, so this isn't just my business. It's how does this my business work best for yous lot as well. So I'm open to any ideas, you know, any criticisms, as long as they're real criticisms. You know, if it's just stupid stuff, I just like, you know, yeah, I'd poo-poo that. But yeah, you know, this is about us working together. And as it says behind, I don't know if you can see that on my sign, you plus me equals us. And this is what the Age of Aquarius is about. There's no I, it's us. Okay. So lots and lots of love to everybody. I'm going to go now because I still have work to do. I have the June monthlies to do. But all I really want to do now is get myself a drink and sit in the sun, I think. You know, a nice cold drink, but we'll see what happens. But have an absolutely fabulous, fabulous week. And I hope this makes sense. And the energies for this week seem amazing. So really, really make the most of them and be enjoy. Okay? Lots of love. Satnam.